Career strategy. Most people are used to going from goals to planning, but a career plan is a single path, a single option. It means that there is one way, and it's fairly rigid, but your career is not going to be fairly rigid, is it? Your career is a dynamic, living, breathing, changing, and strategy creates multiple paths to success, whereas a plan is only a single plan. It is a single way, a single path. So it's very important to have strategy, which is why you go through goals, you bring your goals into this video, which is all about value. Strategy is a term that's synonymous with value. So not only does it create multiple paths to victory, it connects your career to the two pillars of value. Number one, how you create value for employers and how you extract value from employers. Both are more complex than you think. When we do career planning right after goals, what ends up happening is people focus on skills. They focus on job titles. I want to be a VP in 4 years. I want to learn to program in some language because I want to be a senior in 4 years. None of that is going to be very helpful because it creates this rigid framework, and careers are not built on rigid frameworks. What happens if you have a different opportunity that comes out in 6 months or a year? A career plan, you all of a sudden have to go back and look at your career plan all over again. It doesn't inform a decision that isn't on the plan. And the power of strategy is it informs decision-making across plans. Your goals remain the same, but the strategy to achieve those goals, that can shift. The plans that you implement to achieve those goals can shift based on your strategy. Strategy is what gives you that long-term focus. And instead of you doing the zigzag that doesn't really get you as efficiently towards the career goals that you have for yourself, you get this zigzag pattern. You don't want that. You want to be able to adapt to change. But at the same time, every adaptation has to get you closer to your goals, not further away from it and not diverted from. You don't want to take 4 steps forward in the wrong direction because then you're not making progress towards your goals. That's why you need a strategy. A strategy is going to allow you to evaluate a number of unplanned potential opportunities. It's also going to allow you to create opportunities for yourself. You're going to be able to see more than what's right in front of you because we're going to deconstruct your career in a different way. We're going to focus on value. The first part of value is value creation. How do you create value for your employer? And when I ask this in coaching sessions, typically I get, well, I know how to code in Python, or I know how to code in Java, or I have some data and analysis skills. I have data science skills. I can do models. But so what? How does that create value? How does writing code create value? Well, I can create some programs. Okay. But how do those programs create value? And how does your contribution to those programs add value to those programs? How does it contribute to a dashboard? And then how does that dashboard contribute to value for the company? You can see this isn't just about skills anymore. You are making a deeper progression. And you can see this in everything that you're going to do going forward to present yourself. Instead of saying, I am a software developer, that's not a statement of value creation. It's a very simplistic job title. It doesn't tell people much. I build enterprise apps using that generate revenue or that save businesses an amount of money. That line is so much more powerful than I am a software engineer with 6 years of Java experience. You can hear the shift to value. And that is the result of a strategic focus. When you shift to value, your language about yourself changes, but it also changes your mindset. You are looking for ways to improve as your career goes forward, to improve how much value you can create for the business. Why? Well, because now you're going to be able to extract more value. That's the other side of this coin. You want to generate more value, but are you going to get compensated for that value in the way that you're expecting? Now, the title doesn't matter anymore because it truly doesn't. Being a VP is just a set of words. I know VPs who have never led anyone, where the organization under them is one person, maybe two people. They are VPs in title alone. And since their goal was, I'm going to be a VP by year 5, they took the title. But the title's meaningless. Their goal was deeper than just to get a job title. There's something else behind it. That was the purpose of goals planning. And now strategy is going to allow you to understand the value creation that you would need to have and need to be able to do in order to achieve the goals that you've set out for yourself. So start out, and this is your first exercise of strategy planning, break your skills and capabilities down into how you use them today to generate value. What are your work products, and what value do those work products produce for the business? That's how you generate value for the business. It's now important to say, okay, and how am I extracting value? You're getting paid a salary in more times than not. So you're getting paid a salary, you're generating this much value, you're getting paid this much. That's great. You have your very basic statement of value creation and value return. The other thing that strategy allows you to do now is evaluate opportunities. What opportunities are available to you? These are the opportunities I say that are right in front of you. List those out as well. And now look at your value creation framework, and you can very quickly say, that's a great opportunity for me because the way that that opportunity expects me to generate value fits very well with the way that I currently generate value. And it will generate greater returns for me. So that's a good career move. And you can see that the career moves that are right in front of you, you can now quickly evaluate because it either fits in with the way that you create value or it doesn't. It either rewards you appropriately for the value that you're going to be expected to create or it doesn't. Very simple. So now you can segment, this opportunity is right for me versus this opportunity may be right in front of me, but it is not right for me. The next thing you can do is to look at your capabilities and begin to rearrange them a little bit. Is there another way that you can leverage what you have right now to generate value? If the answer to that is yes, and at a certain point in my career, I realized I could use my combination of leadership, business acumen, and technology background to do product management. And product management was a higher paying role than the one I was in before. So of course I wanted to go into product management. If you don't look at your capabilities from the standpoint of value creation, product manager for someone in my position, which was a mid-level leader of a cross-functional technical team, doesn't seem like a natural progression unless you look at your career the way that I did. And I realized I could create value like a product manager, and product managers got a better value return than I was getting. So that was a good opportunity. It wasn't obvious. It wasn't right in front of me, but that opportunity was right for me. And when you start rearranging your capabilities and seeing what other value could you create with those same capabilities, you're going to expose all of these other opportunities. The next thing you're going to do is be able to say, okay, so my goal is what capabilities and what value creation do I need to get to in order to achieve that goal? And you'll realize this is the power of strategy, that there isn't just one path. It's not about becoming a VP. It isn't about having a specific job title or learning a specific skill. The goal is deeper than just a job title, just a skill. The goal is something more complex that you want to achieve in your career. Now, how do you get there? Maybe you add on one capability or two capabilities and you're there. Now it's not about, I have to wait until a VP position opens up. It's about, here are all the different opportunities for me. Here are all the paths. Some of them rely on the capabilities that I have right now and simply advancing. Others, you need to do some upskilling or some reskilling in order to get to that goal, in order to be able to create value in the way that someone who achieved your goal creates value. Now you can also hear that you can ask for feedback. You can go to people who are in that place that's your goal and begin to understand them, not from well, I learned how to program, or I learned strategy or business acumen or communications. It's more of, here's the value that I create. You can ask that deeper question and then begin to decompose that value into the capabilities, into the workflows that you support in order to create that value. You can see there will be multiple paths to get there instead of just one. Now you don't have a career plan. You have a career strategy. Your goals are no longer a job title or a company, or your goals are deeper than that. And that connection between more complex goals, which I touched in the last video, how to build out, and value creation, allow you to build a strategy. You can have contingency plans. What if something goes wrong? Because it always does. What if an opportunity isn't available? What's the next step? What are you going to do if this doesn't work? What are you going to do if you find the capabilities that you've built yourself around no longer being in as high demand? And you can hear I'm starting to talk about strategy in a forward-looking way, where you are predicting and doing some extrapolation out ahead. This brings up two more very critical pieces of strategy, and these are going to be capabilities that you grow throughout your entire career. You want to see more steps ahead, and you want to begin to understand the implications of every decision that you make. That's forward-looking. So seeing more steps ahead means staying current, having information, looking at how the demand for your capabilities, for your way of value generation, how is demand changing? Is it increasing? Is it time to really narrow in on that? Or is it waning? Are more people coming into that field? There is more and more competition for more senior jobs. So now it's time to think about how can you rearrange those capabilities. So you want to be able to see as many steps ahead as possible. And that's really gathering information, having a network who can give you information and insights into what's coming, what's happening in the marketplace for your particular career or for your value creation mechanism. And you also want to think about the implications of your decisions. And this is kind of an extension of that last one. So you have information about what is going on in the market. You have to make a decision based on that. And now you're going to look a couple of steps ahead and say, okay, this is what's probably going to happen. Here are my options. If I choose this career path, what is the most likely outcome? And what do I do if that doesn't work out? Where is my secondary path? Where's my tertiary path? What am I looking for? That information about how many steps ahead can you see? That information that supports you seeing steps ahead. Being able to say, this isn't working, or this is working great. This is working really, really well. Let's continue down this path. This is the right one. Or it's time to go back to my strategy and look at path 2, path 3. Because path 1 does not appear to be working. So I need to have that fallback. And that's what strategy gives you. Without strategy, path 2, path 3, who knows where they lead? Strategy is that connection between every single plan, every single path, and a goal, and what you actually want to achieve, which is why strategy is so critical. So remember, value creation, value return, those are the two important pieces of that first exercise. Your strategy is all about the value creation process you have now and the value creation process that you will have when you achieve your goal. It's also about value return. What value return method do you have now, and what value return method do you expect to have when you achieve your goal? Creating that value-centric strategy. Thinking about rearranging your capabilities, and do that exercise. Rearrange your capabilities. See what else you could be doing and evaluate all of your options. See if there's an opportunity you can create for yourself by reskilling a little bit, or by adding a new capability to the way that you create value. Could you very quickly move yourself into something that, one, still aligns with your goal, but two, generates a higher return for you, which is obviously going to be beneficial. And then the next two pieces that I wrapped up with: information, getting information about what's coming so you can see more steps ahead, and getting information, knowledge, wisdom, building up a network so you can understand the implications of the decisions that you make. If I do this, will it get me to my goal? Well, maybe. So what if something doesn't work? What's plan two? That's really where I say contingency planning. The great thing about strategy is it connects every single contingency plan to that goal. So you're not going, like I said, into that zigzag direction or zigzag motion. You are making a forward, controlled, intentional career plan that has strategy connected alternatives, because you're seeing steps ahead and you're thinking, well, what if this doesn't work? What if at step 4 something goes wrong? Now you have that backup plan, but that backup plan is still connected to your goals. You're not pivoting and ending up someplace that you didn't want to be. So those are your exercises. Get those done. Take your time. Look at value. And make sure that you are talking about value creation and value return, not building products or completing projects. Or it's not about the workflow. You use your workflow to figure out your value creation process, but you don't want this to become an exercise in just explaining your workflow. Focus on value, focus on seeing further ahead, focus on contingencies and multiple paths to success, and the implications of decision making, so you are more likely to make good decisions. And that's the whole point of strategy. Strategy informs decision making under uncertainty, which, believe me, throughout your career, there's going to be a lot of uncertainty, and strategy is what's going to get you through that so that you can navigate it successfully.